Oh man, you guys kill me. The state of our union is strong, let me tell you. So I think we should start the whole conversation off tonight about Felix's art drops this week, right? I mean, it seems to be the topic of conversation in the chat. I don't blame everybody. I didn't get to see a single one of them, but of course I promoted every single one of them, and I'm sure Felix will break the market data report next week for original comic art dealers by just destroying the competition like he always has when he did his first Felix San Diego Con, and then when he did the follow-up for the New York one. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see his final sales figures for this week. It should be pretty impressive, and I'm sure if we, one of these reports. See, one of the things I want to do with the CAF update is more data. More data is fun, right? The more we know about the hobby, the better we all are. And one of the things that would be cool, I could do like a year at some point, like every quarter, do some kind of a recap of the quarter or a recap for the full 6 months, something like that. So with dealers and auction houses, and just look at some of the trends that are out there. But Felix certainly, as far as the original art dealers would be concerned, will probably always be close to the top, right around Bermuda Man and Albert, which is impressive given the fact that he's just a rep, but man, can he market. So yes, everybody's in here. Got Jordan, got Larry, Ron, Mikhail, Marcus. Man, we got everybody in tonight. So think about it. We've only got 2 more of these Fridays, and then the CAF update will move to Thursday in 2 weeks. So not a lot of time to do these on Friday nights. I haven't really thought about what we can do to fill the time on a Friday evening. I know that everybody would like to do something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to play it all by ear. I'm going to try to impose the will that I want onto my schedule, and then we'll just see what happens. And hey, Dino, it's nice to see you too. You have something that you may end up having to work on for me, Dino. There's I was invited to the New York outing at the Society of Illustrators, and Dan really would like me to go. And I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I was trying to work something out because a lot of Mike's artwork is over there, and unfortunately, that same weekend, Mike has some kind of a reunion to go to. But I was trying to swing it because apparently there's a Ditko exhibit and something else going on just east of Pittsburgh. I don't have any details on it. No one sent me anything, but Mike told me about it because he was lending artwork to this particular exhibit, and they had invited him out for that. And I had said, well, maybe we can drive together. We'll go to the Ditko thing on Friday in Western PA and drive out to New York on Saturday morning, do the Society of Illustrators, maybe even shoot some memes with Anthony, where the 3 of us were actually together. But unfortunately, that it's just not going to work out because Mike already had another commitment. So, but yes, Dino, that's what I was hoping you could do. Take photographs, shoot some video. It's not something that we can do live, but a video like that is something that I want to start incorporating into the CAF updates, where we can show people what's happening around the country, hopefully around the world. And a lot of those times they'll have to be video clips because they're not something that we're going to be able to show live on the CAF update. But that'll be our opportunity to do those kinds of things and get people like Dino and other people that have that are going to gallery openings and that sort of thing to shoot some video, shoot some stills for me, and then we can incorporate those into this CAF update. It'll just make it a lot more fun, a lot more informative. I think as far as a resource for people to go back and look at later on, or to check it out the next day, they'll want to do it because there'll be material that we're showing on the CAF updates that we would never have the opportunity to convey in a news piece or ever be able to do a live show. Right, Torpedo's coming up. Yes, talk with Dan. Yes, Dan really wants me to go, and I really wish I could. If I could have gotten Mike to share in the driving time, I definitely would have considered it. So probably whatever the next New York gathering is, even if I can't get Mike to drive, I'll just fly out or something rather than worry about having him as a partner driver. So yeah, so that's out there. I've never been to the Frazetta Museum, Marcus, and I've driven by it numerous times because the IX Art Show is kind of a little bit north and east and west of Philadelphia, and the Frazetta Museum is almost like dead center in PA. So I've driven by it numerous times and have never, ever been to the Frazetta Museum. That's something that I would want to line up if I could. And I've mentioned this before. would love to go there with Joe Jusko. I think he and I, together would be a really fun experience, because Joe would just be the perfect guy to have alongside me talking about the artwork. And that might be something that we can film. Maybe I would take some people with me and film that, and then use that as a spot here on a CAF update, and a longer spot that would get posted after the show, for instance, that would maybe be an hour's worth of the whole walkthrough. So yep, definitely. And yes, and we have the Billy Ireland, Sam. I know that you emailed me about that. I do want to do something next spring. I have not talked to anybody at the Billy Ireland yet. They have not responded to any of my emails. So as it turns out, Colin, the editor on CAF, he flew out to the West Coast, and he's doing this long tour back to Massachusetts, and he's going to be going through Columbus in, I think, 2 weeks. And he asked me if I could meet him down there, because he wants to go to the Billy Ireland. So I'm going to try to meet him at the Billy Ireland, and I figure I can line up a meeting with somebody there with some authority, so that we can try to work out a get together either late next winter or early spring of 2022, where we can visit both the Billy Ireland Museum and the Marvel exhibit that will also be in Columbus at the same time. So I'm going to really try to work that out. I know it'd be a lot of fun. General Grudge, just to be able to hang out with Joe is definitely, I haven't been able to do it in a long while. He used to be a regular when we had the Big Wow Comic Fest, and so we got to chat a lot during that show, but I haven't hung out with him in a long time, and I would love to do it. And I can't see why, if he couldn't swing a half a day to take the time to go to the Frazetta Museum with me, that would be a lot of fun. So lots of chats going on, but yeah, the big news is these art drops from Felix just selling out in literal seconds. Again, I wasn't participating in any of them, but I did get some side emails from people that were disappointed that they didn't get anything, and I can see from the chat, like Mikhail mentioned, that he was 0 for 7. So and Khalil also missed out on a few things. So it's the way of Felix's art drops, unfortunately. But at least they're out there. The opportunities are there. It's always good when he breaks up a book. And I know that I read through his announcement today, and there were 2 books that he broke up, which is great, because I know complete issues are really fantastic to own, but it's nice to kind of spread it around as well. So lots of things going on around in my noodle here as far as what we can do with the CAF update. And I've been shooting some demo stuff to come up with a few different memes and characters to use in the memes, and I worked out some stuff with my son that he's going to be working on over the weekend for me, so that I'd like to be able to tease some of it in the next Dueling Dealers episode. This one character that I would like to do. I think it's going to be really, really fun. And sorry, I'm reading through all stuff. I hope you had a good show today, Nick. I did not get to tune into it. Nick Barucci's art show is every Friday, 7 to 8. And I should mention that I will be on the show with Nick next Friday from 7 to 8. I'll be his wingman, talking about art, and Nick's showing off a few pieces of art for sale, so that should be fun. So I will be doing something on my Fridays every now and again with Nick, even though I'm switching this show over to Thursdays in a couple weeks. Yes, new characters. Anyway, I even ordered a new costume today. That there was this costume shop that I kind of have followed for some of their merchandise, and they had a really good sale, and actually had something in my size. So I bought that. There's definitely, it's not a show that'll be coming up anytime soon, but I couldn't miss out on the opportunity to own something. So I did that. And let me think here. Other than that, and speaking of Felix, as everybody knows, when we do the next Dueling Dealer show on Wednesday, that's with Mike and Anthony, we're going to donate all of the super chat and super sticker revenue that comes in to Felix's the Lou Family Fund charity that supports Paltown, cancer patients getting alternative treatments, and it helps them with their finances to be able to do these treatments and whatnot. And so Felix will join us at the beginning of that show, just to kind of do 2 to 3 minutes or whatever of just explaining what it's all about. And he wanted to pop in just to thank us for doing it. So definitely save all of any super chats and things that you have, you might want to do leading up to that. Just do it all on Wednesday, because we're going to give all of that to Felix's charity. So we've been wanting to do that for a while, and I'm glad we're going to be able to get to do it. And while I don't know which artworks Mike and Anthony are contributing to it, they're both going to contribute the 100% of the proceeds on one piece of artwork for both of them towards the charity. So as well, that that'll be good. So looking forward to doing that. And then I think that that's something that we should be using that show for going forward, whether it's every quarter or something along those lines, and then do a different charity each time. So I'll take suggestions from people as far as which charities they might like us to focus on. But I wanted to start with Felix, because Felix has been a huge supporter of everything that I've done ever since he and I connected 15 years ago. And he's, as everybody knows, he's got my back on in many different ways in many different forums. So he's always been a strong advocate for CAF, and I think it's in part a reason why CAF has been as popular as it has been in the last several years, because Felix he talks me up at every opportunity, and I don't know why I deserve that, but he has always done that. And are Will and Glenn off the Tuesday show now? If so, who are the new co-hosts? I can pull that up on the screen, Ron. Sorry, maybe I missed you asking that before. I mean, with the recaps, we switched that to Nick and Albert, and it's just I had been wanting to get a collector on the show for a very long time, and so with the recaps, without question, it's going to be Albert and Nick for the foreseeable future, because I just wanted a different mix. And I think that Nick brings from his publishing background and his art buying background, and he's a player in these auctions heavily, which while Glenn maybe a little bit, Will definitely isn't a heavy buyer in those. I just think that Albert and Nick and Mike together, they make up a very good group of people who are already they're always participating in every heritage auction, signature auction, and every Comic Link auction, and we'll be doing recaps for those shows going forward. So yeah, that was the replacement there. And then with the Tuesday shows, my plan is to, because I'm getting rid of the regular Thursday evening Comic Art Spotlight, that was always my secondary interview that I was doing. The Tuesday shows, by and large, going forward, will just be me, because I'm not doing the Thursday show. And I think I mentioned this before. Whenever anybody would approach me about wanting to do an interview on the channel, I always would present them with, do you want to do the Tuesday show with the dealers and me, or do you want to do the Thursday show just with me? 85% of the people only wanted to do the Thursday show. So I don't think it's an intimidation thing. I just think that they're looking for something more one-on-one and maybe a little bit more casual. And so just when I was rethinking, well, what am I going to do after vacation? How do I want to reshape the channel a little bit? That's why I'm moving essentially I'm taking the Thursday show and making it the Tuesday show, except when there's a recap. And when there's a recap week, I'll find a way to work in an extra interview, whether I have to do it on an off time or record it and show it later. We'll work that out, but so that we're always at least having one interview going forward. But yeah, so that's the change. And like I thank Nick and Will and Glenn back when we did the recap. If it wasn't for them, I mean, I don't know if I would have had the nerve to really get things going. When we did our first show, if you remember, we did the first Comic Art live stream, I think 2 Tuesdays before the first Comic Art Live Con in May 2020. And I really I needed to do something to get my feet wet with figuring out how to run the panels for that convention. And I just couldn't think about what I wanted to do. And I was talking with Berkey one day, and and we were just BSing, and I said, well, maybe we just do some kind of a talk show, and that's how I'll get my experience on running the panels for that weekend. And I just knew that Mike, Will, and Glenn, they're always together at New York Comic Con, because they kind of share booth space and stuff, and I've seen them together. So we just kind of pulled it all together, and it just kind of rolled from there, right? But they were never really interested in doing a weekly show, so that was why I started doing the Thursday shows. And at the end of the day, I just think it works out. They're now doing their own weekly show, so trying to wedge in I mean, I just can't see how they'd even really want to do a second show. So I just think at the end of the day, I mean, it's my decision. Just this is the way things are going to get reshuffled and restructured, and that's how it is. So I'm glad to have been able to, let's see, remote. Yeah, well, that may be, Larry, I don't know. But at the end of the day, because of the fact that I'm taking the Thursday show sort of away, at least as far as a Thursday evening show, and moving it to Tuesday, I'm not sure how often I'll be able to get all those people together. But I will say that with certain collectors, I think it's better to have, like an Albert and Mike. And I certainly not asked Mike, or not Mike, I've not asked Albert about wanting to do anything more than a recap. That's all. He's always hesitant, and at least he always says he's hesitant. And so I only asked Albert to do the recap shows, and he agreed. So, but I do think it's at some times, like when Mike had, he's had a couple of friends of his on the show, it wouldn't really be, they made it a little bit more fun, right? If I can throw Mike in there as a third person, or if I needed to have Albert or Nick or something like that pop in, or really anybody that might fit well with the guest that we were having. So, I'm sorry, I got to see what Khalil said. Plus, you need some of your own time back. That's right. Well, that's really it. And honestly, I don't mind working as hard. It's the evenings that, and I know I've mentioned that before. It's these 9 p.m. shows all the time. When I have 5 9 p.m. shows a week, and then sometimes 6 if we were doing an amateur show on Monday, it just, like I said, I get done with my shows and I go upstairs and everybody's asleep. It's just like, I lost my whole evening with my family, and doing that 5 or 6 nights a week was sort of wearing a little bit thin. But that's why I think I'm very open, and I'm going to email. Because I had like 5 people from Europe that want to do chats. And so what I'm thinking of doing even is shooting an email out to those people and seeing if they wouldn't mind doing them on a Thursday, but it might be more like 5 o'clock my time. So it might not be the most opportune time for people to watch it live, but I can still get a interview out of the way and do it during the day. You guys can watch it later. And I know a lot of people watch the chats that we do later, but that way I'm not ruining my evenings every single night of the week. I just, I can't do it. It's just the pace just isn't there for me anymore. But like I mentioned, quality over quantity is really what my focus is right now. I want to just put on good shows and just make the content better, more engaging, and a little bit more newsworthy, I think, as far as these CAF updates go. Not just a recap of what I think is great or what the sales that were out there, but just trying to expand on it a little bit more and make it more fun. Getting Dino to do a recording from the Society of Illustrators meetup. I mean, that's something that we all would love to be there. And this is a way that we can experience it together, even though we're watching it as a video clip here on the show. And so that's what I want to do. I want to do as much of that as I can. Hey, when shows start back up, one of the things that CAF was founded on convention reports, if you can believe it or not. I mean, for those of you who were here back in 2003, we had guys posting con reports all the time. They'd take pictures from Artist Alley. They would never send video clips or anything like that. But once shows start back up, there's no reason why we can't. There's any of you can become a roving reporter at any moment with your cell phones now, and can send me the videos, and I'd be happy to composite it down to a 5-minute clip that we show to everybody. So it's a. I'm sorry, I'm just reading through everything. There's plenty of opportunity, and even I was talking with James Siegel yesterday, and or was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. And one of the things we talked about adding to the collectors show on Sunday was just getting people to send us videos of their CAF cribs, how they display their art. Dino, I was trying to find Dino's video clip from when we did the interview, because I was going to say show that as an example, but because Dino had the best video of his CAF crib. But just doing fun things like that, more engaging, getting you guys to be more a part of the show, which is really why we do these shows. It's all just about that. So like somebody just said, in agreement that quality over quantity is definitely better. I was pushing the YouTube algorithm to its max because when I was looking at and reading through a lot of things, they're all about consistency, and so I don't know, that's what they look for. They want to see that you're durable, and I definitely tried to be as durable as I could with all these different shows, but I mean, I think that we're in a good spot now. So at any rate, Jordan still trying to figure out the combination to Dino's OA man cave. Yes, exactly. Anyway, all right. Calf only fans. All right. Becomes collector. Yeah, see, man on the street. I like that. See, there you go, Michael. Man on the street becomes collector at the con. Exactly. I think that we can have a lot more fun with this because I just think that there's so many things that we'd all love to be able to see and we can't see. So we're gonna work on that angle. One of the things I also wanted to do was start doing like these short profiles on some sellers that I've actually never met or haven't talked to in a long time. So just doing like a brief interview, and I'll do it offline because I don't think I want to bring a seller into the show and say, hey, you got to be here at 9:30 p.m. and do it all off the cuff without testing their mic and everything. So thinking of doing like an interview with certain people offline, showing up and hopefully having it be short, but and then showing that as part of the CAF update. And if the interview were to go long and actually be better than I thought it might have been, posting the whole thing as a separate pre-recorded interview later. And for instance, I talked to Scott Kress about that at Catskill because I'm redesigning the site right now, and he said he'd do it. I mean, I haven't seen Scott probably since 2005 at a Pittsburgh show. So for me, it's like the opportunity to hang out with people that I haven't hung out with in a long time. I talked to Cam over at Inky Knuckles, and he said he gave me the thumbs up. So Michael NSN, I'd love to do something like that with you. So I want to mix it up. I want to make it more fun for me too. As far as just being able to kind of just do a few different things with my week. So that's yep, exactly, Nick. Nope, nobody's giving out Dino's address. So a Fraden interview, absolutely. No, without question. You can see where all this is going. I just want to kind of shift gears a little bit and see where that takes me. And I think that all of you got it right there, Mikhail, without question. I think that once you start talking to people like Scott, that would lead to talking to. I mean, you got Ron Friends, you got a lot of other people that we can be chatting with that he reps, and so yeah, lots of fun things. Right, everybody's going to have to go back to date night with their significant others on Friday evenings. But again, we'll see. I get it. I get why we like to hang out on Friday evenings. When you guys made it very obvious to me that Fridays were a thing, I really wanted to make it work. But it just it's a little grueling. It's just definitely a little bit grueling. So, yes. Well, no, I hear you, Miguel. That's why we can talk more about it as we flow this thing. And but just for me, I wanted that time back. So hey, one of the things that I wanted to do, and I'm going to do this on going forward. I'm going to start it tonight. I'm going to start it this evening. Is I want to thank everybody who either renewed their premium membership or who became new premium members in between updates. And so I pulled together my list from anybody who became a premium member or renewed since last Friday. So it's my shout out to everybody who's constantly been a supporter of the site that basically helped me move this thing along for the last at least, I think we had premium memberships for 14 years. So read all these names off. You probably won't know many of them because some people don't use their full names on CAF, but I'll just go with this. And again, it's going to be a weekly thing. So Eric Wenger, Oysten Sorensen, Nicholas Nix, Arno Veldhuizen, and then another Arnaud Brillios, Tony Brischler, Fela Sawande, Walter Dickinson, Robert Lee, David Mandel, yeah, we all know David, James Siegel, all right, we all know James, then Colleen White, the artist Donato Giancola, who's a good friend of mine from the IX and Infected by Art shows, Kenneth Flord, Claudio Marini, most of us know Claudio, Freddie Williams, Stephen DeVeach, Chicago guy, Paul Rose, and then these guys did premium and market data, would be Jeffrey Ratzer, Johnny Cabot, and Dan Foreman. So I thank every one of you, and that's about the average every week. Usually 20, 25 people renew or become new members, and I can't thank you guys enough for supporting everything that we do on CAF and then everything that we've been doing here on the Comic Art Live channel as well. So definitely something I want to do from now on. Larry, no, we can't, man. They do that. They talk about that on the other show. We don't do that here. Does it? Let's see. What else we got here? Nick interviewed Neil Adams. Got to check it out. Yes, I was on YouTube when Nick was doing that live, and I popped into it for like 5 minutes and didn't get to watch the whole thing. And I'm jealous because Neil was actually on my list. Rich Cirillo and I had talked numerous times about doing something with Neil, and so I'm not going to do one with Neil at least for a while, because Nick, I'm sure the whole interview that Nick did was fantastic, and there's no need for me to repeat anything with Neil. But Neil had been on my list for a while. I've only talked with him a couple times, so I thought it would have been fun to have him on. We had talked about maybe doing something in the May Comic Art Live show, but timing just didn't really work out for both of us. So maybe in the November show I'll do something with Neil. And but yeah, everybody should definitely check that out, because even though I haven't seen it, I'm sure it's fantastic. Let's see. So do a portfolio. You guys are funny. All right. So let's see. I think we should. Well, here, just so everybody can see there's the other thing I wanted to pull up is here is the graphic I made for the Monday Dueling Dealers episode, which it's a Pro-Am Dueling Dealers, if you didn't know, between Jordan and Anthony, and all art will be, and I say it's under $500. That doesn't mean it's $499.99. It will be. It should say all art is $500 or less. I'll have to update that graphic, but that's going to be on the Monday show. So Anthony actually sent me all of his memes, and you can't unsee some of these. So I will apologize in advance for some of Anthony's videos. They are all very funny, but yeah, he did take his shirt off for a couple of them, and I'm going to make him pay for doing that by trying to make them as funny as possible. Yes, Jordan going barefisted. I know. I asked. Jordan said he had some boxing gloves, so I told him, if you want to retake this, we can do it. And he was like, nope, we're going to go with this one. And so I said, all right, this works for me. I like the pose. It looked good. Lots of action. You can see the fans behind them are all excited about the battle. So yeah, it's going to be a good show. And like I mentioned earlier, I was glad that Jordan presented the idea of doing a show where the art was $500 or less. I think I want this. I'd like to do more of the Dueling Dealers amateur shows with other people, and I just felt that the pricing levels definitely are an impediment to most collectors. So I'd like to see this go over well, and I haven't seen the artwork that either of them are bringing yet, but Anthony kind of gave a rundown of some of the things he was bringing, and it sounded all really good. So we'll see. Needed to get the shot in. Exactly. You can't do that with a boxing glove on your hand. So but yeah, so I just want to mix it up, and I even told Jordan, if this goes well, we should have him do the same show with Mike, maybe October or something. I can tell you that I've been talking with Scott Eater. He wants to be on the show. So we're going to probably work Scott into one of the Monday shows in, it'll probably be September, October. I can't, we haven't really picked a date yet, but it's definitely not going to be in the summertime. So let's see, just walking through some more of the chats that so I'm not paying attention. Anthony is amped up for any time he can get in front of the camera. I love Anthony for that. He's always a showman, right? And he does like his time in front of the camera, and he does do his daily little video clips that he puts out there on Instagram and whatnot. And yeah, I don't know what, I'm not sure, Michael, what he's going to bring, but he definitely is he's excited about it, and he wants to have a good time. If I could interview Steranko, that would be a win. And yes, it would be a huge win. Bring Cadence on board. You need to move Cadence over to Cafe. I can tell you that we got really close to bringing Cadence into the fold as far as a dealer client, and they pulled back at the last moment. That was about a year ago. We were really close to working out the whole thing, and I had shown them essentially how our systems work. They've used their platform for a very long time. It was custom made for them, and I looked at it and I said, well, yeah, I can probably recreate all the important features in there, but it would go from this price to that price. And it was just, when they looked at it, they're like, well, if you can crawl our site, then that's good enough. And so that's when I started crawling the Cadence website and populating CAF for sale database with Cadence data. And then Cadence became an advertiser because they saw, that I'm working a little extra harder for them and everything. So yeah, I know. Mikhail, I will try to work. I'll go after them again at another point, because their site did have some interesting features that my site doesn't have for the dealers, and I could probably mirror some of that functionality. They were time saving things without question, and a site as big as Cadence, where they have, I think at any given moment they have 17,000 pieces of art for sale on it, and that's approaching Anthony Snyder's level, because he's usually got around 22, 23, and then nobody else is anywhere, not even over 10, as far as the amount of artwork that they've got outside of the Donnelly sites, of course. But that I can't count them, because their stuff isn't priced, and I don't think their data ever makes it into market data, since they don't really ever mark anything as sold. You guys are crazy. Mike needs some brick memes. Yes, Mike does. I'm going to make a note of that too, because I might be going over to his house this weekend. So we were talking about different some different stuff that we need to work on as far as the memes and whatnot. And yeah, sorry, I'm just reading through. Yes, his son will produce some doozy memes. You guys, Marcus has helped me a little bit with Albert, even though Albert won't shoot a meme with me, at least, so he still doesn't want to. Marcus and I have worked that out, and I can't thank Marcus enough. We will have some quality memes for Albert. I guarantee it, even though he won't know about it before we do it. Let's see. So there's that. So what else did I want to talk about before we do the CAF update? I mean, I think that's probably all the new and interesting things that were going on. I know that I'm forgetting one thing that I wanted to tell you, so maybe I'll get into the CAF update, and then while I'm talking about that, I'll remember what the heck that other thing was. But yeah, I can tell you the cool thing from that last Dueling Dealers episode. Mike crossed the $500,000 sale mark, and Anthony, he wasn't at 350, now he's at like 365. So, and Anthony sold a few pieces like immediately after the show, which was kind of weird. The person emailed us both and said, "Hey, I had to step away and I missed the recap. Can I buy them at the price in the recap?" And so worked out that. So Anthony had even a few more sales. Didn't bring him up to beating Mike on Wednesday, but definitely some milestones there. It's pretty cool. You figure we'll be doing our 25th episode with the both of them on Wednesday. And to have them, I mean, they'll be close enough that could be at 900,000 in sales in 25 episodes. It's just phenomenal. I mean, I never would have guessed that the show would have even come anywhere near that. Those first few shows, I wasn't thinking we were going to be going anywhere other than having a good time with everybody. But yeah, I can tell you, when you add in the 4 amateur shows and the Gerhard show and the Vosberg show, we're well over $1 million in sales, because every amateur show they averaged $50,000 each. So that's $200,000 from that. The Gerhard show was $60,000. The Vosberg show, I think, was 18. So yeah, we're probably at like 1.2 in sales, and that's since you can basically say that would be since February 1st. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, never would have thought that I would have the opportunity to help people sell that much artwork. So very fun, and definitely helped me invigorate my creativity through Dueling Dealers. So I appreciate it more for that than anything else. And yes, yeah, I will do that, Khalil. I don't have to shave my head, right? I know, or get up and dance live for anybody. So, but the funny thing is I have so many Post-it notes around the office of from early on when we were kicking around the ideas on what we would do for memes, and I just found, and it's actually still pinned to the job board in the other room, but it was when I came up with the MC Hammer dance for my Thor costume, that we did that. I came up with that and had drawn and kind of blocked it all out around episode 5, but we didn't get to shoot it till like episode 20. So and I have a whole spy versus spy thing worked out that I wanted to have with Mike and Anthony that we still might do. What was the other one? There was another one that we've probably there's a few other ones. At any rate, it's just fun to find, to come across all these, because I'm terrible at, I can't tell you, I have Post-it notes coming out my everywhere. I just put every idea that I have for a meme or something on CAF goes on a Post-it note, and when they're good, they get stuck on the bulletin board in the other room. But yeah, that's what's been fun about all of this. $1 million. I'm the ultimate rep. Felix probably is he would give me a run for my money. That's for sure. Just imagine Felix fully utilizing a platform like this where he could do almost anything he wanted. I would be his sidekick on an adventure like that. So, but yeah, no, it's cool. It's all CAF, right? At the end of the day, CAF is a springboard for all the things that we've been able to do here on the channel. So can do a left and right Twix. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't tell you. There's so many. When Ron had said, we need to do more themed shows. So we actually came up with a bullet list of themed shows too. And we having that extra night off will definitely allow me to do more of the theme show kind of thing. So it was fun doing the Loki bit for Thursday, just riffing on different jokes that we were able to come up with, where I was able to find online. Popeye and Bluto. Somebody emailed me, said I had to do a Star Trek Wrath of Khan episode. There's just it's endless the things that we could pull off. So Ron, yeah, I mean, definitely it's good to know that you guys appreciate that stuff as much as we have fun putting them together. So what's your most fun? Oh boy. But yeah, I really wish I could tell you what the thing I had, the one idea, but it's just going to be a surprise. It's going to be really fun. I told it to Mike today that what I've been working on, and he's like, I want to be that character, and I'm like, well, we can work it out where we can all be that character at different times. So it's going to be it has me in tears, just the few beta tests we did making the video and compositing it to make the character. So yeah, it's going to be very, very fun. Philip, yes, you are the one that emailed me Wrath of Khan. So yeah, trust me, I note everything that comes in. And I can tell you, I actually had a really great conversation with somebody who's been in our chat quite frequently. They had messaged me when I was on vacation about they wanted to show me something, and I won't say what it was, but it was really I was really touched by the fact that somebody really appreciates all the work that they know that goes into this and goes into CAF. And they did some really creative things, and that they showed me earlier before the show, and it's got me excited. It's got me thinking that there's so much potential for us for CAF and for this channel when we can kind of inspire people to want to help and do things that I could never do at the same level or quality doing it myself. So really it was really cool talking with them earlier. I don't think they're in the chat this evening, so I won't mention it. But at any rate, Anthony. I remember I told everybody. I know everybody always thinks of Anthony as a grumpy guy, right? Well, he always, ever since I've known him, he has always sends me like a gift. Usually it's like a cheap piece of artwork or something like that. But I got a box from him in the mail, and I was thinking for sure it was going to be a slice of cake or something, right? Because I think the last thing he sent me was the Thor hammer that Sharon had made. But he clearly went out and picked this up, or maybe Sharon did. But at any rate, he sent me this in the mail. So these, I hope they're posable, because I think I can do some stop motion with this stuff. Thor versus Loki. So I'll work that into the show somehow. And so yeah, gifts still coming in here. It was stunt double. You guys. JC. Yeah, see, there we are. All right. So yes, but all right. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. So let me. Sorry, I had to type one thing over there on the other computer. They are posable. All right. So right. So when I saw those, all I could think of was stop motion. And we can have it. There can be a Mr. Bill wedged into that. And But yes, JC Padilla. Well, JC, I'm not even going to try to butcher your last name because I know I will. But JC was the one I was speaking to a few hours ago. Absolutely, JC, I can't tell you how pleased I was with the conversation, and it really makes me happy. Everything I told you about my trepidation for the things I haven't been able to accomplish, were absolutely true, and I can't. And it's going to take me probably a month to get to a point where I can think about it again. But everything that we talked about was really cool, and I appreciate it. I really do. So I got you guys. I can't keep up with the chat anymore. But all right. I'm going to get on with the calf update, and since we're at the 40-minute mark already, and I haven't even done a bit of it. So we'll start off with the dealers. Now, the thing we have to remember is that the beginning of July usually stinks because of the holiday for the 4th of July and even the week after. That's why we're not doing a collector conversation on Sunday, because we still have some people that are on extended vacations and that sort of thing. So, it is what it is. But dealer sales were down a bit. I mean, it's still strong, 289,000 as compared to $412,000 the prior week. Ramita Man and Albert. Now, here's the thing. Of course, we know Felix is going to destroy everybody next week, but last week, Ramita Man, 46 sales, $101,950 in asking price volume, and Albert, 33 sales, $101,310. So he fell $640 short of Ramita Man, but sold 13 less pieces. So I guess Albert can say per capita, per volume, per average price, Albert beat Mike last week. And then the runners up for the week were Panel Page with just over $35,000 in sales, Anthony with just over 24, and Scott Eater, who never usually makes the list. He had 8 sales and just under $12,000. Padilla, I knew you would fix me on that one, Ruben. All right, so as far as the dealer artworks, the top 6 sales from that week. Here, let me get these queued up here. So there we go again. Total sales, $289,962. This first piece is by Ron Lim, not the Ron Lim in the chat, but the real Ron Lim, or the other Ron Lim. This is from Silver Surfer 34, page 22, sold for the asking price of $18,000 by Albert Moy. Albert is on this list quite a bit tonight. Next up, though, are 2 pieces by Ramita Man. This is Thunder Agents number 7, page 1. This is Steve Ditko and Wally Wood. Asking price was $17,000 on this one. And again, from Ramita Man, this is a Punisher magazine number 14, painted cover, Jim Lee. This one sold for the asking price of $16,000. And next 3 pieces, all by Albert, all Jack Kirby, Vince Coletta, all from Thor issue 139. This first one is page 13, sold for $12,500. This is a nice page. Jack signed it in that little blast there, but other than that, it's a fantastic page. Next one is page 11. Asking price on this one was $12,000. I love that last panel. Thor has spoken. I got to work on my Asgardian slang. So, and then the final piece was, again, same combos, and this one sold for the asking price of $9,500. And I believe these are all twice up. It's just amazing, because I was looking at Thor Kirby pages earlier in the year, and Albert had like 5 of them on his site, wasn't moving them at all, and then and they were all like $4,500, and they were twice up too. $4,500 to maybe $5,500, and he did eventually, of course, right when I would have been able to get one, he sold them all like the week before, after I had been looking at them for at least a month. And you look at where the market is now. I mean, it's literally doubled on anything Kirby, Thor, under issue 150 is just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in a good way if you're a Kirby Thor fan, but yeah. Amazing. So he had those 3 sales rolled out, and yes, spot on the Padilla. Thank you. And let's see. I'll draw Silver Surfer for money. Ron, you could for as often as you're mistaken for the artist. So yeah, it's always funny when somebody's new in the chat and like, you're Ron Lim. It's great to have you here with us. So at any rate, I could have run through a lot of, but as you can see, I want to kind of get out of the mold of just focusing in on the all the high sales. I think that there's a lot of interesting market data things that we can pick out on and talk a little bit more about to make this more than just this top 6, like I'm going to do again here with the auction house report. And this is June 28th through July 4th. I should have stated that at the beginning. Auction house sales were a little bit down too. I can tell you, eBay has just been terrible. Really, for the last 6 to 8 weeks, their sales have just been, abysmal. And I see it even in the referral sales that I get with them that we're not anywhere near where they were at the beginning of the year. And that's probably partially because they had a really nice run there when COVID started. A lot of people were actually selling their art through eBay. But I think that now that COVID's kind of coming to an end, and you're seeing Comic Link and Heritage have these really phenomenal, record-setting results all the time. Who's going to waste their time selling on eBay? Not too many people. So auction sales for that period, $246,000 compared to $265,000. So not a huge drop, but definitely I'd say all of that was a hit on the eBay side of the world. Heritage is definitely ramping up their Wednesday auctions now that they moved them over there and they don't have to have comics and a few other things as a part of those auctions. I could tell you, I think in the upcoming Wednesday auction they have 350 pieces in it. So I think that's like 40 or 50 more pieces than they normally have. So competition for the Dueling Dealer show in some weird way, I guess. But I mean, they do start it a few hours ahead of our show, but we've been kind of following it, and it does run into the beginning of Dueling Dealers. But I don't think it's really a big deal. But we're going to kind of watch it and play it by ear just to see, because if they do keep layering in more and more artwork, it could become problematic. I certainly don't want people to have to split their time between two shows. 2 shows, our show and the auction going on. So I don't know, but right now I'm more focused on just sticking to it and working through it. And I had talks with Joe Madalena and a few other people about what we could do, and they were they wanted to. At any rate, I feel like I've worked it all out. We're going to try to stick with Wednesdays for a while, even with the extra competition from having their sale on the same evening. If anybody feels it's not that it's problematic for me, but it's cramping your style to try to do 2 things at one time, let me know. But because I haven't really heard that from anybody other than Mike, who has to bid in that auction and then switch gears and start selling all at the same time. Screw them. I was here first. That's how I kind of felt about it. I just felt like it, we've had the amateur shows on Mondays when the shows were on Mondays, and it shouldn't be a big deal. And yes, they are running later, Bronze. Yep, I completely agree. And that was, that was not what we talked about when I had my discussions with them. It was more about them, because we asked them to run it. Well, why don't you start them an hour early? Because they used to be. I think they used to start them at 5 Central, and then at the beginning of the year they switched it to 6. So if they were starting at 5 Central, we would be fine. But yeah, they were not open to that as a possibility. And Arteth, eBay has now made it very hard to find the art that's there. Because I basically do an import of their data for the overall site search and whatnot to populate it, and I didn't even realize how broken eBay was with the original art category. It actually, when they made their change, which was around beginning of May, they really screwed up all of their sorting and filtering in the collectibles categories, almost all of them. And unfortunately, I wasn't paying close enough attention to see that. All I saw was my sales dropped. The commissions I was making dropped from, they almost, I won't say 50%, probably about like 40 to 35%. And I just thought it was low inventory. And then I went and I actually looked at what my imports were, and I realized that they had changed things so much that my imports weren't working right anymore. They were still bringing in some data, but only about, I don't even think they were getting a third of the data properly to populate the stuff that we use to promote some of the eBay auctions. And So I had to go back in and fix those. But even after I fixed them, they're still lower because eBay's they're just a total mess right now. But they're not asking me for my advice anymore. So I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to help them explain how they've screwed it up. And it doesn't matter. eBay eventually will go away, and it won't be. I won't shed a tear when it finally does. But at any rate, let's see. Let's go over the eBay or the auction results. The first three being eBay, and the second three being Heritage on their Wednesdays. So first up is this very nice Tim Sale piece. So again, 246,244. This is Tim Sale, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, number 33. Nice DPS, sold for $5,365. I think it could have went for a little bit more. A little surprised. But next up, Dark Knight Returns: The Golden Child by Rafael Grappa, $3,999. Surprised to see it out there already, and but there you go. That was out there. And then this Duncan Fegredo Star Wars Union number 3 cover. The original price was $3,200. I can tell you that they had a make offer on it, and I do not know what the make offer was. So it did sell for a little less than $3,200. Then these 3 Heritage Weekly auctions. This first one, again, it's a Sergeant Fury Dick Ayers John Tartaglione piece, sold for $5,760 in the Heritage Weekly auction. This is a Fleer Ultra Spider-Man clear chroma card, sold for $3,360. Artist is Gary Ciccarelli from 1995. And finally, this Art Adams Art T-Bear Fantastic Four 348 page, sold for $3,120. So there you have it. There are the top 6 items. Yep. Khalil is in agreement with me on that one. Sorry, cough. I would have thought the Tim Sale was going to go for a bit more. Very, very nice page, Batman. And yeah, I thought that was definitely a good price on there. Thank you, Ron, for this. And I always appreciate the super chats. But remember the super chats on Wednesday, everybody, because those are all going to go to Felix's charity. And Grant, thank you. I do agree that Albert and Nick were a great addition to that show because, again, they're definitely far more involved in the Heritage auctions than they're as involved as Mike, and Mike is a big participant in a lot of the Heritage auctions. He doesn't win a lot, but he tries to win a lot. So let's see where are we at. Wow, bright colors on that Spider-Man. I know I was a little surprised when I saw that one too. Mr. Red Jack 12. But so, yeah. And Grant mentioning, that those Fleer Ultra cards do not, you almost never see them. And don't know, Marcus. Anyway, so, all right, let's hit the popular artwork now from this period. And let's see. There was a lot of good artwork, as always. And I always feel bad about not being able to pick 30 pieces, but maybe in the future of CAF updates I can do a little bit more. But here are my picks for the week. There were 15 that I selected. First up, this is in Mig's collection. This is Joe Mad, of course, and this is from Astonishing X-Men number 1, pages 2 and 3. Everybody remembers this DPS. So I mean, if you were reading X-Men back then, that was a DPS to have. Congrats to Migs on that. This is a great Polaris piece. It's in the collection of Steve N. and the artist of Bruce Timm, of course. Next up, Dinesh continues to rock the comic art world. This is a fantastic all Dave Cockrum piece from Giant Size X-Men number 1, page 2. First appearance of Nightcrawler. Next up, this is in the collection of Chris K. This is John Toddleben. This is Miracle Man, and it's from issue 14, DPS again, pages 10 and 11 from 1988. This is I'm not sure if this was used in a sketchbook or not, but this is Mark Schultz. It's in the collection of Ivan Thompson, and this is a Conan illustration. Rogues in the House was the title. Next up is a Superman number 5 cover. Fantastic one of my favorites from those early Byrne Superman covers. This is in the collection of Sam H. And continuing on with the Superman theme, this is in the collection of Duke Fleed. It's Kurt Swan and Bob Oxner. This is from Action Comics 438. Nice splash title page. And now we've got Will Eisner. This is from 1949 in the collection of Monty B. Lonesome Cool with the Spirit. And this is in everybody's pal, Mikhail Trad Moore. This is Silver Surfer Black number 3, page 11. I love the way the text was done there. And we've seen this piece before in a recent recap. This is by Eric Larson. This is in the collection of Bobby L. This is from Amazing Spider-Man 327. It's the page 24 splash against Magneto. Here we go. We got another Rafael Grappa piece. This is in the collection of Yo Curry. Dark Knight Returns, The Golden Child, page 33. And Byrne again. This is from Fantastic Four 256. And the collector, I'm going to butcher the name, Meikol Senzakwa. 3 more to go. This is Carmen Infantino and Bob Wyasek. It is from the collection of Dietmar Kruger. This is from Iron Man number 108, page 2. Page I would love to own myself. Finally, the last two. This is Hellboy in Hell number 5 cover, collection of Jason B. and Mike Mignola, of course. And finally, a piece that both Jason and I would probably love to have. This is from X-Men 49, page 15, first appearance of Polaris and Mesmero. This is from Werner Roth and John Tartaglione, and it's the collection of Zatari. So there you have it. That is my top 15 for the week, or last week. Yes, very Miller on that one, Carlos. I completely agree. And love the Yellow Jacket. Absolutely. I mean, I would love to have that page in my collection. Last call for 2 more likes. Come on, everybody. Nick is trying his darndest to get me up there. So, it's my pleasure, Mikhail. That was an awesome page. And I know you're a big trad fan. And Eisner Bricks, Dino, absolutely. I should always mention that when I see the bricks as well. But that's such a classic page. So I had to pick that one. And sorry, just trying to read through all these. But yeah, there are a lot of good. I love the Byrne Superman cover. I mean, from those first 6 issues, that one was probably my personal favorite. So nice to see that one on CAF. And Toddleman's piece was great. I mean, yeah, I'm glad everybody enjoyed this week's picks. And let's see. No cap art for July 4th. Hey, Marcus I almost featured picked Marcus's piece where he had all the fireworks in his CAF gallery. So it did get a lot of comments. And so I was tempted. And then I thought, I don't want to give everybody the wrong impression that we think possibly blowing up a few fireworks might damage a piece of art. So I did skip over that one. But I did see that piece when I was doing a lot of my sorting and filtering on which pieces I wanted to feature. That one was always at the top of the popularity for that period, Marcus. So you did a good job PRing that one and getting a lot of attention to it. Let's see. That's true. Johnny McCloskey did have a birthday today. Saw that on my Facebook feed this morning. So yes, happy birthday to Johnny. All right. So I really, I thought during the conversation of going through all that stuff, I would remember that other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I don't remember it. It hasn't come to me. That's why I need a script for these things. But let's see. So, oh gosh, it's killing me. We were really hoping to have this Sunday show too with the collectors. I had Chris Snorek lined up for that show, and then we had a pass. So I can tell you that the lineup for the following Sunday is going to be very interesting. So it's going to be Chris Snorek. It's going to be Scott Wingo, which is McSpidey fan on CAF, and Kavi is going to be on as well. So I don't know. We don't have the 4th one lined up yet, but that will be a show that you're going to want to see. That's going to be a lot of fun. So lots of, a lot of new people, but people whom we all know, whose collections we know very well, and who have been in these chats or have been in Dueling Dealers as buyers a lot. So I think that these are going to be a whole lot of fun. That particular show, I'm looking forward to doing it. If Dino doesn't take a stab at making the awesome title graphic for that one, I will do my best to crop everyone's heads and put them onto some interesting pop culture reference that makes it fun. So, all right, I can't think of anything else that I wanted to talk about. I've been able to get through everything, but please, I do hope that everybody tunes in next Wednesday for the Dueling Dealers episode. Even if you're not there to do it, just tune in, and if you can make a donation, I would appreciate it. I want to have a good showing for our first one out, and it would, like I said, it's all, anything that would be going to the show would be going to them, and I want to be able to do my part again for all the good things that Felix has done for not only the hobby but for CAF. So that's a big one for me. The mini golf is usually you guys. I am going to shoot some memes at the mini golf. So before I sell that darn thing, which I hope will happen in the spring, or in the fall, I want to get some. We got to get Thor out there. He's got to be using some lightning tactics to get the golf ball in the hole for a hole in one. I'm sure we can work out a few things. The Pro-Am, absolutely. Hey, I just pull that thing back up on here. Let's show it again. Look at these guys. They are ready for action. I mean, when I looked at Anthony, he literally took the collar off of his Dueling Dealers shirt, cut the sleeves. If he shows up like that, I don't know, guys. But as long as he keeps his shirt on for the live show, that's all I ask, because I just don't think I could see him live like that. But yeah, again, Monday show, $500 and under. It's a 12-round event, 2 pieces of art per round. So for the full 12 rounds, the exact same format that we use on the sketch shows that we do. So 24 pieces of artwork for each guy, and $500 or less on all of it. There will be the recap round as well, but with 24 pieces of artwork for each guy, hopefully they price them well, and we sell most of the artwork during the first 12 rounds. It'll make for a quick show. Both of them have made, like I said, they're making their special memes for the show, like we always do with the amateur shows. So that's going to be fun. And as everybody knows, the amateur shows are always our most well-attended shows. So I mean, even more so than the regular weekly one. When we did the Tatiana and Michael Lovett show, as if you were there, I mean, that was the show where we crested over 350 live viewers, which I mean, I think that the Wednesday show maybe has gone over 300 2 or 3 times, and only up to maybe 305. So nowhere near the hype that show had. And again, I know it's because people like seeing collectors, in that kind of format more than anything else, even just to watch, right? So I'm looking forward to that. And again, it's a amateur versus a pro, but it'll be good. It'll definitely be good. So anyway, let me go through anything. Lots of you guys, 45 likes. Jordan, you're toiling to pull affordable gems from my storage bins, but you have storage bins of art. That's the important thing. You do have, and you'll have some doozies for the show. Yeah. And let's see. There you go. Dealers and Collection Conception pages. Have a good day. All right. Yes. So I am going to call it a night, because I know we've only been at it for an hour, and I know that there's still over 60 people here watching the show, but got a few things I want to do. So I look forward to Monday night. You've got to tune in for that. I've got interview shows again on Tuesday and on Thursday of next week. And so the recap again will be on Friday again. So it's a full slate next week, 5 shows, 6 shows. You got Monday through Friday and the Sunday show. So that'll be 6 nights out of 7 that we'll have something going on. Yeah. And then after that, then we'll have a lot of fun. I think it's just going to be different, but I think it's just going to feel a lot more comfortable for me and everybody else. I think we're going to have a really good time. So yes, just like Ron said, everybody have a great weekend. Get out. I mean, if the weather's good, have some fun. We're trying to all get back to normal around here, and me more than anybody else. I mean, I don't even have to work at the miniature golf course this week. All my employees are here, and I can tell you, my offer on the house in Florida was not accepted. They took the a higher offer. They got a higher offer. So there's no chance of me moving down to Florida anytime soon unless something miraculous happens in the next few months. So I'm back to that probably more around the first of the year kind of thing. But I'm going to keep my eyes open. I do want to get down there before my daughter starts school in late January, early February in Orlando. So, yep, I was sniped. I was sniped. But I should have made a stronger offer. You know, I didn't. It's my first time buying a home in a long time that I didn't build for myself. So I'm just not used to the game as it is today. Buying a home it's like comic art right now. It's everything is overvalued. You know, it feels like 2007 again. You know, when I bought the property for the mini golf, they let me buy it for $300,000, and I never bought a piece of commercial property in my life, but that was when everything was super overvalued, right? And everything crashed in 2008, and I'm quite certain that property, even to this day, is probably only worth about $260,000. I mean, I don't see that happening in the art market, but that's where things are at in properties today. I mean, every single house that I look at that couldn't sell for $300,000 4 years ago is selling for $550,000 in 24 hours or less today down in Florida. And it's the same here in Ohio, because when I was talking with the bankers, they were saying the same things happening here. Maybe not to that same extent, but it's insane. I mean, who wants to go pay $550,000 for a home that was only $300,000 when they couldn't sell it for $300,000 3 or 4 years ago? It's ridiculous. So the art market is definitely following the trends in the housing market. That's all I could tell you. But yeah, it's a rant now. All right, and I'm sorry on your birthday, Johnny, of all times for me to do it. But all right, I'm going to call it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see everybody on Monday evening. Anthony versus Jordan, the first Pro-Am event that we're having. I'm still calling it the 5th amateur show because it's involving Jordan, but that'll be essentially our 29th overall show for that, and the 30th show overall on Wednesday. Things are all good in the art world, and again, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday.